Hello everyone, my name is Keo Live at Home and this is a basic combat guide for Batman Arkham Knight in the AR challenge the Iceburg Lounge, where if you get a high enough point score, Killer Croc jumps into the arena to take you on himself. This is done by keeping your combo multiplier in play for the entirety of the match. One thing to note about this challenge is that any of the upgrades that you have unlocked through the story will be brought into this battle, so I recommend having anything related to armor upgrades and the special combat boost to build up that multiplier quickly, which of course you need the disarm skill as well to take out the shield and taser guys. First up, getting straight into it, you want to do some basic one-hit punches on the enemies and keep rotating around the room. The further away from the enemy, the less likely that you'll be forced into a counter move. These single hits will eventually whittle down the enemy health without taking them out, the idea being to keep them in the field long enough that you don't have to fight against any larger goons that require other strategies. Ideally, you want to keep this going until your combo reaches between 120 and 150 times multiplier, and you'll know when to switch to grappling enemies when a medic shows up and electrifies the other guy that will shock you when you attack him with melee combat. It is at this point you will need to be grappling enemies one at a time, making your way around the room by leaping over enemies to stay away from counters, dodges and charges. The default controller combo for grappling is left trigger and Y on Xbox or left trigger and triangle on PlayStation, and what you want to do is press the button combo at the same time, wait until you see the grapple actually hook the enemy and then mash either X or square depending on your controller for Batman to propel towards the enemy for a melee hit. As soon as Batman finishes the hit animation, you can go straight into another grapple and repeat for the next enemy. The thing you want to look out for here is the locations of the other enemies nearby, and if you get the indicator above their heads to counter. You can do one of two things here. Either counter the enemy with the counter button for 1, 2 or even 3 enemies, or you can double tap A on Xbox or X on PlayStation to leap over the enemy's head. Depending on the situation, you could possibly do this more than once without losing your combo, but be careful as if you dodge too many times without attacking, the combo will stop. If you do lose your combo, you are better off restarting as you will have too many downed enemies and will attract bigger guys to the field. As soon as the guys with the tasers and shields show up, which will be around the same time as the shocking enemies, immediately use your disarm button to take out one, punch 3 more enemies to get the melee counter back up, and then take out the other. If there are shocking enemies on the field and you grapple, the grapple will generally always target the shockers, so you want to make sure that the camera is facing these enemies or the camera will spin around really quickly and disorient you, so you may lose your combo or punch the guy that you didn't want to. The same can be done with the shield guys and the tasers here, as when you use disarm you want to be facing the enemy you want to take out, or you may end up attacking another enemy. Always jump over or leap away from enemies with red indicators or yellow indicators, as they can complicate your flow and break your combo. Another tip is that normally when you want to clear enemies really quickly, the idea is that you would take out the medics first so they do not revive the other enemies. You do not want that here, because every enemy revived on the field keeps them in play and stops more complicated enemies from spawning. So just keep using one attack per enemy, and ideally just keep using the grapple combo and clearing out the shockers, shields and tasers. Disarming an enemy also really doesn't hurt them, so you can use this to your advantage in building up the combo without causing damage. Once again, be careful though, as you don't want to get enemies too close that you miss the counter indicators. If you find that the shield guys are a bit much, and this goes for any of the challenges in the game, stun can be your best friend. Just line them up and hit B on Xbox or circle on PlayStation for a quick stun, and then either I on Xbox or X on PlayStation to run up to the enemy for a quick slam to remove their shield. I normally double tap this button when I do it to make sure that it follows through, as it does nothing when it is in mid animation, and it also helps when the game doesn't feel responsive on some characters. Stun is the one move that is consistent across all the characters, so it is good to have that in mind and good to have it in your skill set. You need to get approximately 1,050,000 points to stop new enemies from spawning, which will happen very quickly after getting a combo multiplier of about 300, but most likely closer to 400. When all the enemies are finished off, it will take a moment for Killer Croc to jump into the arena, but when he does, more enemies will start spawning again. Now don't worry about this too much, as you need them to build up a quick combo to pull off the team takedown moves. This is where Nightwing jumps into the arena as well, as your buddy to take down Killer Croc. One of the things that you notice is that the new meter that builds up under your combo counter, once this is full, you can see the Batman symbol shaking and you will know that you are ready to take on the big guy himself. If you haven't played parts of the story or the DLC packs where you also verse Killer Croc, you may not know, like I didn't, that the team takedown button combo on controller is LB. You can also see that I danced around the arena just punching enemies until I realized that I needed to initiate the takedown button. The first couple of takedowns are really straightforward, showing you flashy team moves and you switching from Batman to Nightwing as your playable character. After this, you have to pay a little bit more attention as you will need to mash the X button on Xbox or square on PlayStation to continuously punch Croc, but also look out for the counter indicator above his head. To make it as simple as possible, get in a few punches and then immediately counter his attack. I say this as there are times, and it happened to me, that the other enemies would get in between the camera and Croc's head, which hides the actual counter indicator, so you will have no idea if you need to counter or not. You will be able to see when you counter Croc's move, after about a second of the animation finishing, the counter indicator is back and that you need to dodge again. So if you find that Croc's head is hidden, just punch for a moment before you press the counter button to give it time for the indicator to appear, and then dodge again. If you fail to do the counter, you just get knocked on your ass and you can try again. Most of the time when fighting the goons, Croc will try and face your direction and perform an unbreakable charge attack. So as long as you are not in front of him when this happens, it is easy to dodge and you can go about your business. Outside the occasional swipe attack, you don't have to worry too much about him as he just wanders around reviving enemies, so just stay out of his way. And that's about it. You can continue fighting the battle, although I got a little cocky playing around with the team takedowns in the end and ended my streak soon after. From here, you can pretty much switch between Batman and Nightwing to enjoy the rest of the battle. Hopefully this helps as a guide to take down Killer Croc or take these skills into any combat challenges you need. If you enjoyed this video or if it was in any way helpful, let me know in the comments or follow me in all the places in the links below. Good luck and thanks for watching.
Oh, this'll be too easy.
Mission complete.